Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Game God Fluent, bringing you episode 1 of what's sort of an impromptu LT, a Let's Try. I did not intend to record this game. In fact, I didn't even know it was coming out until I believe I picked this up yesterday, which was the first day it was released. And it was made by a dev who did another game called Grim Quest that I played a little tiny bit of, and I could actually LP or LT that one because that's a very cool old school CRPG type of game. But apparently his new game came out, and it sort of sent a wrench into any plans I had for today, at least, because it is the 30th of April right now when I'm recording this. And as I said, this game came out on the 29th, I believe. And I didn't quite get to it yesterday, but I thought, wow, I really want to check this out today on the 30th. And it's my rest day. Tomorrow I start back with the Caves of Lore series and recording that for a few days. But in the meantime, I'm going to start this up and at least try to get an episode or two of it in so we can start exploring it together. I don't know what all to expect. I kind of just poked around at some menus when I was in the game. That's why you see played for 21 minutes. Now this is a Let's Try, so I may only get a few episodes into it to start, and it may take a while for more episodes to come out, but hope you guys will stick around and what's sure to be epic no matter what. So hope you guys will enjoy. Let's get into it. We are Let's Trying Grim Tides. Let's hit play and see what's what. Monomyth, that is the name of the dev. And we're met by beautiful music immediately. Okay, so his other game is Grim Quest, which I also own, but we could try that one sometime. Let's hit the settings. Full screen or windowed. Music, sound, blood. Naval combat frequency, available for individual characters only. Select a character before changing the setting. We'll go with default. Retro item graphics requires reload. Have that off. Retro item graphics, yeah, I don't know. Game speed is normal. Visual theme, default. You could check out dark, but I much prefer default. You can change the font, but we're going to use default. There is alternative, which is very nice as well. We just might go alternative. What do you guys think? Let's try alternative for now. There's extras, Discord server, the developer website, Grim Quest Facebook page. But we're gonna go ahead and hit play. Delete this character and empty slot 1, and here we go. New game. Difficulty, there's casual, grim, hardcore, and nightmare. Grim is challenging but also rewarding, the default difficulty. Expect to die, learn from your mistakes, and come back wiser and stronger. Let's see what hardcore says. Prepare to die a lot. 25% enemy damage, upgrades cost more. We'll go with Grim. Combat mode, advanced, 2 actions per turn, more dynamic and tactical. Customizable modifiers, no difficulty modifiers mid-game. Maybe I'll turn that on, actually. Advanced difficulty modifiers mid-game, so you'll get an option mid-game to do different modifiers. Naval combat. Permadeath is going to be off. When you die, you lose gold. Advanced settings. Dungeon side is normal. Event frequency normal. Level progression is normal. Let's go ahead and start the game. Okay, so text font is going to be alternative. Visual theme default. So let's go ahead and select a portrait for our character. We can use a custom one. But I think I'll go ahead and be... Well, I'm not this old yet, but... Excuse me, maybe something like... this. Character name, we'll go ahead with... Elzarius. then we select our background. We could be a freelancer, background of Explorers Guild, Imperial Knights, Sun Court Sages, Thousand Temples, South Sea Company, the Knight Syndicate. So we'll go through these a little bit. Freelancer is 1 attribute point, 1 starting perk bonus. You're on your own without ties to any of the major Imperial factions. You are free to be the author of your own destiny. Or are you? Then there's the Explorers Guild. We would gain +1 perception, Imperial favor, minus 33% supplies cost. A loose association of drifters, travelers, and other adventurers under the patronage of the Imperial throne. Proactive and charismatic, its members are rumored to serve as eyes and ears of the Emperor in faraway places. I'm not going to get into well, I guess I should. You traveled far and wide during your time with the guild and know how to make good use of special benefits provided to its members, such as cheap lodging rights. Then there's the Imperial Knights, +1 to strength, martial training, minus 15% skills upgrade cost. Imperial Knights are elite warriors tasked with guarding the Imperial throne and protecting the Empire's interests both at home and abroad. They live a life dedicated to martial training and duty, which leaves them little time for intellectual pursuits. You underwent a rigorous martial training during your time with the Knights, which grants you a better understanding of various weapon skills. There's the Sun Court Sages, +1 intellect, arcane studies, minus 15% spells upgrade cost. The Sun Court is the Empire's first and foremost institution of learning and magic. Pioneers of both science and arcane arts, sages enjoy a high degree of autonomy in their endeavors, even though they ultimately answer to the Imperial throne. During your time with the sages, you received a comprehensive training in the arcane arts, which grants you a better understanding of magical spells. Thousand Temples, +1 endurance, divine mandate, minus 33% morale restoration cost. A clerical organization that gathers and administers the Empire's countless religious cults, but also enforces religious unity and supplication to the Imperial authority with its mighty orders, the Templars, and the Inquisition. The privileges you receive during your time with the temples, once bestowed, cannot be stripped away and include, among other things, a discount on wine in all inns, taverns, and similar establishments throughout the Empire. South Sea Company, +1 charisma, trade charter, minus 10% shop buying prices. A pragmatic organization of sailors, merchants, and other entrepreneurs that has come to dominate the southern seas with shrewd mercantile practice and silver-tongued diplomacy. During your time with the company, you've made some lucrative connections and learned a thing or two about business. And then finally, the Knight Syndicate, +1 agility, I think that says. Underground network, +50% bounty gold, more bounties available. Operating in shadows across the Empire and beyond, the Knight Syndicate is the infamous organization of thieves, assassins, and other criminals, as old as the Empire itself. Their motto is simple: where there is coin, there is opportunity, and where there is opportunity, it should be seized by any means necessary. During your time with the Syndicate, you became familiar with its underground networks, allowing you to claim bounties at a better price. So, out of all these, there's definitely a bunch of different ways we can go. I'm going to go ahead and be a freelancer. We'll get 1 bonus attribute point, 1 bonus starting perk. So we have our attributes: strength, endurance, intellect, agility, perception, charisma. Let's see what charisma is used for. Measure of your character's personal integrity and ability to influence others. Modifies fear immunity, wages amount, and the price of selling items. We'll go ahead and put a point or 2 into that. Perception, measure of your character's senses and awareness. Modifies critical chance with physical attacks and ambush chance in dungeons. Agility, measure of your character's speed and reflexes. Modifies evasion chance and combat retreat chance. Intellect, measure of your character's mental capacity and ability to grasp the arcane. Modifies spellcasting abilities. Endurance, measure of your character's stamina and constitution. Modifies health points and poison resistance. And strength, measure of your character's physical strength. Modifies damage dealt with default attacks and weapon skills. So we have 2 points left. I'm probably going to go put a point into intellect and 7 intellect, another point of perception. You can check out our stats: health 50 out of 50, The amount of damage you can receive before dying. Damage 1-to-1. The amount of physical damage dealt with default attacks and combat skills. Armor 0. Reduces all physical damage received in combat by a fixed amount. Our spell power is 2. Increases direct damage and healing magnitude with spells in combat by a fixed amount. Poison resist is 0. Chance to resist poison effect from enemy abilities targeted at you. Retreat chance is 67%. Chance to successfully retreat from an enemy encounter. Healing rate is 1. The amount of healing you receive per consumed supply. Morale is 10 out of 10. The amount of fear and mental trauma you can endure before fleeing for your life. Low morale causes various stat penalties and makes you more susceptible to elemental incursions. Evasion is 6%, chance to avoid physical attacks from the enemy completely. Our critical is 9%, chance to deal double damage with physical attacks and combat skills. Spell resist is 0, reduces all spell damage received in combat by a fixed amount. Mental resist is 3%, chance to resist morale reduction effect from enemy abilities targeted at you. Ambush chance 14%, chance to get ambushed while backtracking on previously explored dungeon tiles. And barter rate is 104%, modifies the price of items you sell at the shop. So we're going to go ahead and click next. I'm not going to read all of these, but these are the perks, which we get a bonus one of. We can just go through the basic names of them. There's Arcane Attunement, Armorer Apprentice, Bookworm, Cautious Nature, Transcendent Psyche, Effortless Casting, Escape Slave, Explorer Instinct, Fast Metabolism, Favored Soul, Field Medic, Fleet-Footed, Fool's Luck, Foul Odor, Gifted, Goldfinger, Heavy-Handed, Innate Resistance, Magical Affinity, Midas Touched, Nimble Body, Pack Mule, Ruthless Efficiency, Test Subject. I guess that's all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Gifted. You're unusually gifted and quick to grasp any new skill thrown at you if only you put your mind into it. Minus 10% skills upgrade cost. And I'm going to select Favored Soul. Receive increased benefits from shrines, which are dungeon events. For reasons unknown to yourself least of all, you always were unusually favored by the gods. A small prayer is enough to get you in their favor. You are unusually gifted and quick to grasp any new skills thrown at you if only you put your mind into it. So I think we'll go with those. They're not the most min-max type of skills, but I tried to just, I don't know. Seems like that's what I want to go with. We could definitely go with other things. There's a lot of different ways to build your character here. Fleet-Footed for more retreat, Goldfinger for more gold, Fool's Luck for a base 10% chance to succeed all dungeon events. That's really good. Yeah, a lot of ways you can go, but Ruthless Efficiency, plus 4% crit, that's pretty awesome. Minus 10% skills upgrade cost is very good. And I guess we'll get good benefits from shrines, whatever they may be in the dungeons. Could probably just give you beneficial effects. So those will be better. Let's hit finish. It is the year 1247 of the Imperial Era, and the Empire reigns supreme across the entire old continent. Order, peace, and prosperity hold away in all lands under the protection of the Imperial throne, while wisdom and knowledge blossom under the firm guiding hand of the Sun Court and its illustrious sages. Confines of the Empire are becoming cramped, however, its orderly decadence too stale for restless souls looking for a change of pace in their predictable daily existence. With the discovery of aether-fueled, ocean-faring ships, numerous colonies spring across the face of Irwa, spreading imperial influence and civilization to the untamed corners of the world. Letters from exotic places travel home, promising opportunities and adventures, and ever so conveniently leaving out many wrongs committed in the name of progress and expansion. Far removed from the imperial heartland and rich in natural resources, the archipelago of Southern Isles is the youngest of those colonial frontiers, beautiful and mysterious at the same time, and brimming with countless possibilities for those that know how to seize them. Things are far from perfect in this tropical paradise, however. Vicious creatures, uncooperative natives, and domestic criminals stand in the way of Imperial peace and progress, and whole settlements go missing as if swallowed by the jungle itself. Strange occurrences coincide with the foreboding news. A dangerous group of renegade sages is hiding somewhere in the emerald expanse of the remote frontier, wanted by the Sun Court for transgressions most vile. They have taken you from the Imperial capital's prison, first by carriage, then by ship, across the sea to the Southern Isles. Your past, a mundane and unremarkable affair in itself, is not important, and your future is uncertain, to say the least. It depends on the small letter of conduct resting in your back pocket. The letter wears the official Imperial seal and was given to you by none other than the Grand Sage Asmodeus, headmaster of the Sun Court, at the moment of your release. The letter grants you safe passage and privileges in the frontier port town of Farhaven, the strongest foothold of the Imperial authority that side of the South Seas, and also seals the deal between you and your employer. The terms of the deal are simple. Follow Asmodeus' orders, locate one Sage Iridius, a renegade and traitor to his order, and his band of accomplices hiding somewhere in the wide expanse of the Isles, and bring them to justice. Disobedience is out of the question. The sorcerer's sigil tattooed on your flesh, branding you a criminal, leaves you with little choice but to obey. If you succeed in the impossible task that's been set out before you, however, both you, your past, and your crimes will be wiped clean, and you will be granted a chance at new life in the colonies. It is safe to say that the odds are not in your favor. One thing, at least, is certain. Grim tides await you on the journey to your final destination. And there we see Farhaven, it looks like. Very cool. So this is a sort of sailing type of... Oh snap, it didn't give me the tutorial. No, I need the tutorial, bruh. There's no option to play the tutorial. Oh, that is not good. I was really hoping there'd be a way to play the tutorial. Let's check the journal. So we don't have anything in the bestiary yet, but we can expect humans, beasts, muata, undead, ogroid, arcane, and constructs from a wide bestiary. We have 500 gold, 0 out of 250 XP. Okay, so that's the introduction. So the notes section is for lore bits that we can come to know. We'll get into this too early on. The Empire, the Sun Court, Archipelago of Southern Isles, Port Farhaven, Mystic Grove, Hollow Reef, Emerald Wilds, Sunless Oasis. And we're hit with all these quests. We're not going to go through the ones that are grayed out. These are epic quests. Complete the main quest to unlock. Then there's side quests that I guess we already have that we can tackle. And then there's main quests, but we can't do these two for some reason. Shadows of the Past, Sage's Gambit. Wonder why we can't do that. Is that something to do with our past faction that we chose or didn't choose just as a freelancer? I don't know. Maybe I'll go more with maybe I'll re-roll a faction choice and see if that changes those two. Because Shadows of the Past sounds like something that would possibly be something to do with a faction, but... So let's check out the main quest, The Price of Freedom. Well, actually, we'll get to the journal in a second. Let's start off. It's Farhaven Day 1, 500 gold, 50 supplies. Supplies can heal you when moving to unexplored tiles, but if their amount drops to 0, you'll gradually lose health and sanity. Each move costs 1 supply point. You can replenish your supplies at the tavern using consumable items in the dungeon and interacting with various dungeon events. Then there's morale. We went over that. Not available, whatever that is. So the different places that we start off with access to and importance are going to be the Salty Rat Tavern, Smuggler's Den, trade shop, and the Battle Academy. That's what the tutorial went over. It didn't really go over the Black Anvil or any of these others. And then the journal and the world map. So let's check the character. We have nothing equipped except the Warden Sigil. We have a healing potion. Restores 60 HP. Item tier 2. A standard issue healing potion is a commodity in high demand across the Empire, especially on its fringes where law and order are somewhat relative terms. Liquid Courage restores 3 morale. Item tier 2. Though not technically a drink, this effective potion can often be found on the shelves of some of the fancier Imperial taverns, where it is served in small doses to those with exotic tastes and deep enough pockets. That's all we got, 500 gold. So what is this sigil anyway? An arcane sigil tattooed on prisoners serving life sentence in the Imperial prison, not only to mark them, but also as an assurance against any escape attempts. The means of its removal are a closely guarded secret known only to a handful of the highest-ranking Imperial officials well-versed in the arcane arts. The devious magic woven into the sigil is an abhorrent stain on the laws of the arcane. Ingenious in its cruel efficiency, whenever a person marked with the sigil strays outside the prison walls, a dormant spell activates, calling forth elementals from the arcane realms. The sigil's very existence is unacceptable to these creatures of pure arcane essence, and so they attempt to destroy it together with its wearer. Sage Asmodeus has promised a way to remove the sigil from your flesh upon the completion of your mission. Until that time, he has put a dampening spell on it, allowing you to move freely in pursuit of your targets. To a degree, at least. The farther you travel, the weaker the dampening spell's effects will become, and you will have to deal with occasional elemental attacks. Did not realize that. We've got our stats, what we went over. Our abilities, nothing. Our perks. Our background as a freelancer. Alright, so let's head to the Salty Rat. There's the tap room and a stash where we can keep 40 items in the stash. The barkeep looks at you with barely concealed amusement, grinning from ear to ear at your approach. Bounties are posted on a worn notice board that decorates the far corner of the tap room. So there's 3 available bounties. Kill 4 Fey Watchers, kill 6 Aether Bugs, acquire 1 Tonic of Personality. There's supplies available, but we're already at 50 out of 50. So we can expand our inventory 2 slots for 300 gold, but I don't want to do that right now. A gambling table sits by the roaring fireplace, occupied by busy and slightly inebriated patrons. Play a game of dice with tavern patrons. We can play a number and bet gold on it. We have just enough gold, so I'm not going to do that, but acquire 1 Tonic of Personality. A bounty has been posted by decree of the Imperial Governor of Farhaven. The reward is 45 coins, 15 XP, I guess. Collecting the bounty will consume the item. A Tonic of Personality. Sure. Kill 4 Fey Watchers. Sure. And kill 6 Aether Bugs. Sure. See how that goes. Then there's the Smuggler's Den, where we can buy stuff and sell stuff. There's Moldy Bread, which restores 10 HP and also gives +5 to supplies. A fine piece of bread is hard to come by in the frontier of the Southern Isles. Grain, not being among the archipelago's many thriving cultures. Yep. Healing Pot, Marigold Petal, restores 25 HP. Fresh petals of this bright golden flower can soothe minor wounds if applied with skill and care. Grapes, restores 15 HP +7 supplies. Grapes from Southern Isles are not so rare a commodity these days, even with the Muata natives being fiercely protective of their favorite fruit. And then we've got weapons. We're going to need to buy a weapon. He only has 1 type of defense, I guess, which is the linen vest. It's +6 HP. A plain linen vest doesn't offer much in the way of protection, or anything else for that matter. I guess we could potentially buy the small shield. It says valuable. Shells of all shapes and sizes can be found in abundance across the archipelago. Many of them are useless, but this particular sword is somewhat rare and is traditionally used as currency by the native Muata. Would definitely be good to have. Oh, it's a shell. It's not a... I thought it said small shield. And then ginkgo leaves restores 40 HP. The healing properties of a ginkgo plant are well known and applied ever since the dawn of history. So let's go ahead and buy the linen vest. Or a little defense, well, I guess, 6 HP. And then we can buy a weapon. I think I'm going to buy... Each one is a bit different. Short sword is a slashing weapon. 2 to 3 damage, 15% wound chance. In essence, a short sword is a smaller version of a long sword, at the same time longer than a dagger or dirk. It possesses many of the same parts, such as generally double-edged blade, crossguard, grip, and pommel. It is perfect for quick slashing attacks, preferably while hunched behind a shield. If we look at dagger, it only does 1 to 3, but it adds 3% crit and times 1.15 crit damage. A dagger is a knife with a very sharp point and usually 2 sharp edges, typically designed or capable of being used as a thrusting or stabbing weapon. Daggers have been used throughout human history for close combat confrontations, and many cultures have used adorned daggers in ritual and ceremonial contexts. Favored amongst rogues, assassins, and thieves, both as a weapon and a tool of trade, dagger is as much a symbol as a deadly weapon. We also could go with the club, which does 1 to 3 damage with 15% stun chance. It's a crushing weapon. A club is amongst the simplest of all weapons, a short staff or stick, usually made of wood, wielded as a weapon since the Age of Ignorance. Even so, its simplicity of use has its merits, and so clubs are still used to this day as a last means of an argument in dark alleys and bustling taverns worldwide. Then there's a war hatchet, a hacking weapon. 2 to 3 damage, 15% cripple chance. Hatchet is a single-handed striking tool with a sharp blade on one side used to cut and split wood and a hammerhead on the other side. This particular version, a war hatchet, is a Muata invention used by hunters of the tribes as both weapon and utility on the long treks across merciless jungles of the archipelago. That's pretty cool if you want to hack. I'm probably going to go with stabby because of the crit, so we'll buy a dagger for now. That leaves us with 200, and if we go to the Battle Academy next, you'll see that first level abilities or first tier are exactly 200 or so. So first of all, we have spells and skills. So of the spells, we have 5 different classes or schools. There's elements, aether, nature, order, and chaos. And then in skills, there's slashing, crushing, hacking, stabbing, utility, and arcane, which seems like another form of magic almost. It would seem so if it's arcane. Metaphysics, hermeticism, so kind of like arcane knowledge, it seems. So we can go through the first tier of everything to see what we want to take. Dragon's Breath, and each one you can put like 5 points into, it looks like, to level it up. Invoke the essence of flame to burn 2 adjacent enemies to a crisp, melting a portion of their armor away in the process. Reduces armor by 1 on consecutive casts. So 4 to 8 damage, -1 arm, 3 cooldown, and you can use it twice per combat. So the interesting thing is there's no magic or anything, but essentially uses per combat. So I can use this two times in combat, every single combat if I wanted to. So skills and spells are going to be pretty important for us starting out here as our main source of damage, pretty much, for our build. So here there's Aether Bolt, 5 to 7 damage, -1 slashing resist, and it stacks. Cooldown only 1 action, and you can use it 4 times per combat. Quickly shoot a bolt of pure Aether at an enemy, reducing its resistance to magic by a small amount. Oh. -1 S resist. What does that mean? -1 stacks of resistance? Maybe. So that seems pretty powerful. Then we have Insect Swarm. Summon a swarm of insects to harass the enemy, greatly reducing its armor and disabling its special abilities. Reduces armor by 1 on consecutive cast. Only 2 to 2 damage, but -3 armor, and 70% chance to mute for 3 turns. cooldown, 3 actions, can use it 3 times per combat. So I love the mute on that, right? In case we run into a caster early on. But the fact that this would be for casters makes me think I should buy this second behind whatever I buy first, because we'll probably run into casters not on the first mission or 2, if that makes sense. I'm just guessing there, but Healing Light in the Order School of Magic. Heal 8 to 12 plus 1 stacks of magical resistance. 4 action cooldown, use it 3 times. Engulf yourself in an array of Healing Light, restoring health and boosting spell. Oh, S is spell resist by a small amount. And then Chaos Magic. Chaos Ball. Form a ball of swirling chaotic energy that deals damage and applies a random debuff, either to damage, armor, resistance, poison, or mute. Very cool. 4 to 12 damage. 3 cooldown, 3 uses per combat. So lots of different ways we can go. We can freely build, you know. Then there's a slashing pommel strike. We'll just hit an enemy with the pommel of your sword, confusing it and disabling its abilities, but it's usable only with a slashing weapon. Plus 1 damage, 75% chance to mute for 2 turns. Crushing is a stunning blow. Perform a heavy blow that can stun for a single turn. Usable only with crushing weapons. 60% to stun for 1 turn, plus 1 damage. Hacking is called culling. Take a savage swing at your enemy, dealing critical damage with a small chance of killing it instantly. Usable only with hacking weapons. Can't insta-kill boss enemies. Always crits, 4% chance to insta-kill. Very powerful. Stabbing, there's Venomous Stab. Stab an enemy with a blade dipped in debilitating poison that deals persistent damage and reduces its attack efficiency. Usable with stabbing, so 2 damage per turn, minus 4% crit. So they won't crit you as often with that. Then there's Utility. Adrenaline Rush. You let your body adapt to the heat of battle, triggering muscle memory and invoking a rush of adrenaline that boosts your health and damage. Plus 6 HP, plus 1 damage. Pretty cool. And finally, Arcane. The first one is Metaphysics. Your interest in the metaphysics of magic has granted you a deeper insight into various spellcasting techniques. 15% chance to reduce a spell cooldown by 2, and it's passive. So for our first ability, I think we'll go with a magic spell. There's Heal. There's Chaos Ball. Kind of think Dragon's Breath. 4 to 8. But if you use Aether Bolt and this spell resistance stacks, every time we cast this, and that spell resist debuff will last the whole battle. Every time we cast it, it's going to do more damage based on the loss of spell resist. Is that how I understand it? Or maybe it can't do more than 5 to 7. I think we'll play it safe and go with Dragon's Breath for now, because it attacks 2 adjacent enemies, and it's usable only twice, but it does burn 2 adjacent enemies to a crit, so we'll unlock it. There we go. 50 gold to forget it. Upgrade takes 300 gold, requires level 6, and you can see what it upgrades to. Very good, very good. Alright, so we're pretty much done now and ready to head into our first area. Well, let's go to character and equip the linen vest and equip the dagger. Still quite a bit of other stuff we can equip. There's Dragon's Breath. Alright, cool. 10% skills upgrade cost, so we have to use skills rather than spells. Good to know. Check the journal. We have our bounties. So there's a lot here. These are searching for the missing. Oh, we have to. Okay. Those are different levels of reach the different dungeons. Side quest Trader's Journal. If rumors and gossip from the Sun Court can be trusted, Sage Iridius in his eccentric ways was fond of keeping a personal journal at all times. If you locate any of his writings, perhaps you could gain some insight into the inner workings of his mind and learn more about his personality, motivations, and current whereabouts. 0 out of 15 journal entries. Memories of the Tribes. Follow in Sage Iridius' footsteps and locate 8 memory stones of the Monomyth scattered across the wilderness of the Isles. Perhaps experiencing the memories of the Isles' natives inhabitants will give you a better understanding of Iridius' expedition and their quest. Either way, it should give you some valuable information about the area and its long history. 8 memory stones. Trouble in the Woods. A bounty of high priority issued by the Imperial Governor of Farhaven. Deal with the Goblin tribe that's been running rampant in the Mystic Grove for the last few months, harassing the fair populace of Farhaven and crippling our booming industry. Get rid of the nasty green-skinned pests, and I'll personally see to it that you're rewarded accordingly. Reach character level 12, Mystic Grove level 30. So these actually don't apply to us yet, so I won't go through them. I guess we could find this. Find the fabled forbidden city of the Monomyth, the lost treasure trove of the Isles, fallen to the nameless calamity in the long ages past. 0 out of 4 map fragments found. Okay. Stuff to keep an eye out for. Now, the whole game is not a text RPG. There is, like, I will show you, should I start it? It auto-saves. If we hit the world map here, we can see, like, there's different dungeons to check out, different areas. First is up is the Mystic Grove, and once you enter there, it's a more graphical display, so it's not going to be all text. I'm just starting the LP by reading this stuff. What is this? Oh, combat modifiers. Warning, adjusting combat modifiers could drastically impact your gameplay experience. Don't touch if you want to play the game the way it was designed. Right. We're not going to touch those. I should have turned those off anyway. So the first up is Mystic Grove, a primordial forest on the southern tip of Little Nuke, brimming with strange flora and fauna. So let's see how long I've been playing. 37 minutes. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I do want to go over more in the journal because I want to really immerse in the lore and stuff and really get into this. Let's see. The only thing that applies to us right now is the price of freedom. Let's go over this quickly. This is our main quest. You've been plucked from the lifelong prison sentence in the Imperial City's prison and offered a deal by none other than the Grand Sage Asmodeus, headmaster of the Sun Court and de facto leader of the Order of Sages. The terms are simple. Find and execute 5 renegade members of the Order, sages whose crimes demand immediate and swift retribution, and you shall have your freedom, past sins erased, and the accursed Warden's Mark, an arcane sigil of control that brands you a criminal, removed from your body. Your targets are the following: Sage Iridius, known for his eccentric ways and unusual areas of study, but respected for his undisputed arcane talent. Appointed leader of the Southern Isles expedition due to his research into the Monomyth culture and language. Outlawed for arcane malpractice and high treason against the Sun Court and the Empire. Sage Bartimius, a seasoned battle mage of the highest rank and expert in fire magic, veteran of the Reclamation Campaign of 1239 IE, accomplice of Iridius. Sage Luxius, a senior scholar and master of magical abstractions, highly respected for his wisdom and knowledge of the arcane, accomplice. Sage Stormspeaker, an experienced arcanist, versed in air magic, served as a weather mage in the Imperial Navy for many years. An adept Sonorius, a promising novice apprenticed to Sage Iridius, shows talent in the arcane but still lacks experience to be elevated to a sage. And first up is all hands on deck. We have to reach level 15 of the Mystic Grove and character level 6. Missive from Grand Sage Asmodeus, Order 1. Alas, the vessel you've arrived in is not fit for traveling the archipelago, and the local shipbuilders are experiencing a shortage of sorts. We don't have time to waste on domestic squabbles of these provincials. Venture into the Mystic Grove and locate a sizable amount of iron bark enough to commission a small ship. Neutralize all potential threats to your mission encountered along the way. So that's what we have to do, or that's... Right, I think we have to start in the Mystic Grove now, reach level 15, and reach level 6, and then we can go to the next missives. But that's it. Then we have our bounties that we saw, so we know what to look for. I do want to cover like a little bit of the notes, you know, of the Empire and stuff. It's not that long, so we can kind of figure out who we're working for and what's going on in the world. But I do assure you that the dungeons themselves, we can start next time right with the Mystic Grove, and it will be a graphical in-face, you know, enemy sprites and all that, and spell effects and stuff. It's pretty cool. So I hope you guys will join me for that. Hope I didn't bore you too much with the jib-jab talking, but you know, I like to get into these RPGs when I play them, and you get the full experience here on the GGF channel. So thank you for watching, though. Do hope you enjoyed. Hope you'll join me for more. As I said, we'll head into the dungeon first off next time. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys. Much love, peace, and joy. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.